Hey guys, welcome back to the official video webcast of GeekRest.com. The 7th day is the title we've been given by ourselves.
By God.
By God.
Yes,
Hand
divinely.
down. Joined by Aaron Holland once again.
Hello.
Oh, look at that voice.
From a comic shop, a comic show. Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, and we're not going to be making out today.
Sounding a little sexier though, so temptation is high.
Hmm.
We're going to throw a couple announcements, recapping the week, geeky news, comic book related for the most part. Last weekend was Emerald City Comiccon, and nothing groundbreaking came out of it, but there were a few little tidbits that were kind of nice. Dark Horse Comics, they're collecting Fear Agent,
Right?
in a hardcover collection.
Yeah, maybe Rick Remender will finally make some money off Fear Agent.
Maybe Tony Moore will actually get some more paychecks coming in.
Maybe. I remember when Remender was here, he was like, his indie stuff he does as a labor of love. He loves that stuff. He loves Fear Agent, but he's like, he never made $1 off Fear Agent. It was like you don't even make money off the collection. He's like, no man, they spend so much money in the production of it and the distribution and all the stuff Mark Waid talks about that he didn't make any money off it. So it's like you don't make money off single issues, you don't make money off the collections for these independent stuff. I'm hoping Rick Remender makes money off this omnibus.
Well, the omnibuses have been selling. That's like fans
and it's high dollars, high ticket item.
Right, so fans are stoked that these things are actually going to be collected once again. And it's going to be the first volume, I think, collects the first 3 trades.
I love Fear Agent. Like the way I pitch it, and the reason I love it is it's science fiction for people that hate math. That's me.
Pitched.
It's like I do not need to know how the warp drive works. I am sorry. I don't need to know that. I just need to. I want a swashbuckling pirate astronaut that drinks heavily and throws up in his helmet and just his throw up's just
It's science fiction. I can relate to.
Yeah, and then I want him to have sex with aliens, if Shatner was in the Star Wars universe. Okay, all right.
Interesting. DC Comics, iZombie. They've announced they're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
With issue 28.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't a big shock. It wasn't ever selling that well. It's critically acclaimed, obviously, and it has a huge cult following, and the creative team obviously is, doing other stuff and whatnot, and is really big. But to me, the Eisners kind of have a history of being these kind of snobby guys that want to just poke a stick at the big publishers, like, oh, you're going to cancel this? Well, we're going to nominate it, Well,
they were nominated last year for Best Continuing Series.
Yeah.
And this year it's the Arts Department that really got 3 nods.
I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm just saying there's something about when something is being canceled and they want to give it a nomination, just like, hey, screw you, DC, you big corporate whore. But,
Yeah, poke the cow. Image Comics, they released a couple new titles, or announced a couple.
Oh, before that, if you are someone that can vote in the Eisners, vote for Brian Clevenger. He deserves it for Atomic Robo.
Yeah, there's a lot of. We're coming back to Eisners. Don't worry.
Oh, we are.
Okay. No, I want to talk a little bit.
Well, I need to plug my friend.
You plug away. Image Comics. A couple new books came out. They've announced. They also announced they're going to be creating a new sub imprint called Minotaur.
Yeah, Minotaur. Let's see. Echoes came out by Minotaur already. By Joshua Hale Falkoff, the same dude that did Last of the Greats.
Oh, okay, all right. I knew the name sounded familiar.
Yeah, he did that, and it just seemed like it's kind of a noir kind of really niche kind of black and white super indie imprint of sub-imprint of Top Cow Image.
Yeah, right.
It's a sub-imprint of a sub-imprint, but they're only going to do really, really quality stuff, and it seems like Vertigo type stuff, old school Vertigo type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
One of the other titles, Round Eye. What is it, Round Eye?
Better than
For
Slant Eye.
Love. It is better than. This is an interesting book to bring up only because that started on Kickstarter as well.
Yes.
There are a lot of books getting started on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean this is a fan-driven industry almost, with the cons and just how outspoken the fans are and how much the fans are connected with the creative team. Mm-hmm. And the creative teams can go directly to the fans and we say, shut up and take our money.
Right.
And then they don't have to put up with some of the BS of the publishers are like, well, that won't sell. And it's like, no.
Like Supurbia.
Yes.
This is Boom Studios. Their announcement, this was kind of like under the radar a little bit, but that's now going to be an ongoing series.
That's cool. I mean, it's necessary now because, I mean, we have this hole in our lives because Desperate Housewives got canceled. It's over. So now that there's no Desperate Housewives for us on Sundays, we can have Supurbia, which is basically Desperate Housewives with superpowers.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that pitch, I don't know what's wrong with you because it's a great book. And she's fun. She has a lot of energy. I really, she used to do the Watcher podcast at Marvel, and now she does her own Stacktastic. And Grace is cool. I'm glad she's getting...
She's getting a lot of success out of this.
So, I enjoy her videos, and I also enjoy her making me money when I can sell her stuff, because, after looking at Mark Waid's breakdown, I'm making more money off that than she is.
That's true. Let's get into that breakdown. He's another, well, if we're going to jump into the Eisners a little bit, first Brian Clevenger.
Yeah,
is one of
from Atomic Robo.
From Atomic Robo.
Beautiful man.
Yes.
Very hilarious, very
Handsome
fun.
Too. Yes.
He can write really fun books that are, all ages appropriate, but not watered down. They're just like total fun, science fun. Just kind of like, I don't know, man. The big publishers just need to give him something to sink his teeth into.
And him too. He's on Kickstarter. He was all working with Kickstarter, and they well overfunded their project to do a little animated DVD short.
Why not?
And
they have their fans.
Hit it out of the park. It started in February, something like that. I think they're at $66,000 or something like that. They've far met their goal, but I mean, again, that's...
Clevenger hates my pitch for his book, so I keep doing it, I did it as a joke for
Salt
Atomic Robo.
Wound.
Atomic Robo is basically Hellboy with a robot instead of a demon and science instead of magic. And he's like, you just changed everything about it.
It's not a bad pitch, Brian. I gotta say, it's not. Sorry, I don't know why you wouldn't like that, but that's pretty good. But you're saying Mark Waid. He's the big nominee, I would say, or at least his title, Daredevil.
Yes.
6 nominations. What do they got? It's like best writer, best cover art, best single issue.
That cover art is just ridiculous.
I picked up number 10.
Those onomatopoeia covers. Oh my god. Yeah. That's how Daredevil sees is an onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. He sees sounds, baby.
It's true. Radar. That's his gag.
Sonar. Yeah, same diff.
Like a bat.
He has like 8 senses, and one of them is not sight. All right. Figure it out.
Filling out. There were a couple other... One other thing that came out of the Emerald City Comiccon, I don't know, fans might find this interesting. They're reprinting Scott
Pilgrim, oversized in color.
Oversized in color.
Hey,
Controversy abound. It's in color. I mean...
He had some color versions of stuff.
Yeah,
there's been a few color pages here and there. I think maybe one of his free comic book days, Scott Pilgrim stories, was in color.
Was it?
There was some stuff and obviously the covers are in color.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's the color palette's already there. It's not like, what? That's the color of Scott Pilgrim's hair? What I mean?
It's true.
It's not as controversial as, say, reprinting Walking Dead in color.
Oh my God, that would be...
But, there's no... As far as my knowledge, after, the original Ataris and whatever, there's no really video games in black and white. So, I mean, it was just digest size and kind of manga-ish that, and the way more affordable to do black and white. But
especially after the film, too. I mean, people got a taste of that world. It's so bright, so colorful. It might not be the worst thing to see.
This is what I personally want out of it. Okay, so we do the color versions. It's awesome and people like it. I want a friggin' cartoon. I just want a friggin' cartoon.
That'd be cool.
I want a cartoon. And of course the cartoon's going to be in color.
Web series probably work best for
that. Scott Pilgrim.
But,
Yeah, let's do it.
That's cool. And now let's get into some meaty topics here. Mark Waid.
That guy.
He's been a lot of, he's been coming up a lot in conversation lately. Retailers, I should say mostly, these guys were, not you, but they're...
I'm part of it.
They're bringing up the issue of why is he... pushing digital so hard. Like, what are you gonna do?
Slapping us in the face.
Yeah, stop pouring gasoline on the fire under our ass. And a local store, raised the issue, banning his work. But what is it? He wrote a post on his blog that was very well written, and it broke down the math of the industry, particularly with Diamond. Yeah, for print comics.
Right.
And how the math just doesn't add up for new creative talents to publish their books in print as opposed to digital. And when he broke down the math, I gotta tell you, it was sad, but it was true. Like,
The only thing that you're not going to get rich quick on print no matter what as a creator coming out.
Right.
But if you get it into stores and stores like my store like your stuff and can hand sell it, I'm introducing you to all these fans passionately, like with Sacrifice and Sam Humphries, where you get your stuff into a handful, but then he went around Diamond, so it's kind of a moot point.
I know.
But what I'm saying is, if you include the hardcore stores that can passionately hand sell stuff, like I can sell the medium of comics better than most anyone.
Yeah.
So if you get something in my hand that I can hand sell, which is a tangible thing, then you got fans for the long term for your digital, your collections, your movies, your TVs, your video games. But otherwise, yeah, with Diamond and the amount of money they get, because the retail stores have to make the market to pay their rent and employees, and Diamond takes a huge chunk, and the publishers have to take something that the creative teams don't really have anything, and then an independent guy doesn't really get much. But
especially if he's unheard of too. I mean,
what he's getting is distributed side by side with Marvel and DC, racked side by side with Marvel and DC in these established retail stores. And if he has a quality product that's in quality stores, then those stores can hand sell it to the best customers that are possible to really get that in the hands of those customers, whereas their marketing and their marketing of their digital might not get it in front of the eyeballs of those hardcore people. So yes, the math doesn't add up in the short run, and I don't know.
But you made a good point 2 weeks ago. You said if you're in the business of selling the commodity of comic books and the format of that commodity changes, retailers who have been sticking with this format, they're going to start to shake a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas you brought the points, like you engage the customer, you are active in the culture and everything. Therefore, you have a much better chance than a retailer who's
well, you're selling the comic as an entertainment form, not as a print, pieces of paper. And who better can sell a comic, the concept of a comic to people than a great retailer that is obviously in brick and mortar now. So and a lot of the best retailers have kind of segued, a handful have segued into digital, and whatever, I'll do it. I just don't seem to need to yet, because I'm still kicking some freaking ass selling 200 copies of Saga #1 and this Averse X thing selling crazy, and the new 52 selling crazy. So I see some of the retailers point that Mark Waid's making these kind of like doom and gloom things when things are actually looking way up and way optimistic for print. But still, let's have a path that merges the two together, and let's get some new eyeballs. Let's get some new people in the store. Let's get some new blood, and let's crush Diamond.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, basically, there's no Diamond for the digital market yet. There's no monopoly,
and there's no reason to be, because there's you don't need the infrastructure of whatnot.
Right. And in terms of sales, it's Eric Stevenson.
Oh, dude, that guy's awesome.
Image Comics publisher. He wrote something else on his own blog, which kind of relates to this. He was talking about comic books hitting the store shelves and selling out before they even arrive.
Right.
Is that good? Is that a good thing? People think, oh, you sold out. That's good. Keeps
maybe it's
the
good for
going.
digital. If these retailers don't want people to go to digital, they need to order more print, because if there's nothing to sell print and these people want it because they see the hype, they're going to go buy it digitally on Comixology.
Yeah.
So you're cutting yourself out.
But you mentioned Saga #1.
Oh, Saga! This is a treatise on how things don't make any sense and suck ass. Okay, I don't know. Here's the thing. I order 200 Sagas. I offer money back guarantee. I get naked on a toilet bowl. I sell them all in 7 days.
Yeah.
I can't get any more. No one brings it back. No one brought it back. 200 left my store. No one brought it back.
Yeah.
I order the second print, and I order 50 second prints. The second print gets allocated because they didn't wait for the orders for the final order cutoff to set their print run. So instead of 50 copies, I'm getting 20 copies. Here's the part that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Doesn't make sense.
The final order cutoff for the third print I had to do before I knew what I got allocated down to for the second print.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of my 50 copies of second print I'm getting before I have to lock in my numbers for the third print. So therein lies that print sucks. Mark Waid's right. Screw the printing press. Screw all that. Let's just go digital.
Yeah.
Screw this store. Let's burn it down. I got insurance. But anyway.
But no, he made some good points about that. Whereas the numbers are misleading when between the time that you make your initial order and the full order cutoff?
The point is the content has never been better, and there's never really been more demand in the past decade probably for this content. They're doing a great job up in the ante and making this stuff awesome. And there's a lag
between about
Image and even the industry as a whole with DCU and their reboot. Marvel's getting their head out their ass. There's never been, to me, better content for me to sell. And Image is definitely leading the way. And DC did a great job rebooting their whole line to lead the way for print and the content being way better. But there's still that thing of like, how do you get this content to the fans? And the retailers are like, why don't you guys advertise for this stuff? The supermarket doesn't have to advertise for mayonnaise. Why do you have to do that? And then the publisher's like, well, why should we advertise for this stuff when it's not even in stock in your store to sell?
Right. So and some of these books are selling out before they even hit shelves
So should the publishers overprint even more? They have the lowest costs to get in.
Yeah.
So maybe, or should the publishers treat us like actual partners and give us digital copies ahead of time before the print run's set so we can read it and know, oh my God, I want to order way more of this so the print run's more in line with what we think we can sell. There's ways to make this work better, but obviously there's more demand than supply, and who the hell knows what the answer is.
But a unique point that Stevenson brought up is because Image Comics, they don't even own their content. It's creator owned. So, and like Marvel and DC being owned by Warner Brothers, Marvel being owned by Disney, they got deep pockets.
Right.
They can afford to overprint,
and advertising. And DC did that a lot.
Whereas Image, they got to watch their bottom line carefully, and
because they're not getting the lion's share of the
and
money.
for indie publishers, like even more so, that's even more of a threat for them or a concern.
But it's so awesome that they're getting so much amazing things, and
But they're amazing titles, yeah.
Yes, there's a hiccup with distribution. Yes, there's a hiccup with getting that product to customers. And I personally think that if retailers really, really, really want to stop digital from being the new mainstream format for their existing customers or for new customers, they need to, one, make their store have a better culture, a better environment, better shopping experience, a better fun experience, and two, stock the damn quality stuff that people want instead of saying, oh, we'll have the second print in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They need to be more aggressive in seeking out what's going to be good and taking a more aggressive stance on it, because if you're sold out, what's to keep that guy that read the 4 pages online and say, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and buy the Comixology thing?
The demand may not be there by the time even the second print comes around.
Because they might have bought it digitally.
Yeah.
And then are they going to buy issue 2 from you, or are they going to buy it digitally? Who knows?
They're leaning towards digital now. Yeah.
Well, not for me, man.
Dude,
I double down on Saga. I'll triple down on Saga.
Over.
Yeah, this video is, you like those numbers, man. I hate numbers.
Smart talk. And
I like colors and
he's talking scarf print.
Letters and, all right.
I guess that's pretty much it. One thing I just want to mention, we're going to talk about the Avengers, later on because the movie's coming out in a month. But
that Hulk looked good.
Dude, that Hulk looked tasty, the Jade Giant. But we were trying to push for this online. Marvel's doing screenings of the Avengers in local cities. The top 5 have already been selected. The big wigs, New York, Chicago, blah, blah. The runner-up 5 cities. If you go on Facebook and you're from Orlando and you like their page, we are in the running more so to get a screening.
Yeah.
And this is obviously just a big priority because it's we're
do that. I already got a screening though with the Daily Buzz locally partnered up with me for my customers. But that's just for my customers.
I can't pull that.
Anyone else in Orlando that wants to see it, they're gonna have to like that on Facebook.
Yeah.
My customers are taken care of. All right, thanks.
Sounds good. Adios.
Bye.